welcome back to the range. Tom here, and today we're doing this 1995 Mitsubishi Eclipse from the Fast and the Furious movie. I like this car, even though I'm not a tuner car or anything like that. But I've always really liked this car from the movie, so I had two of them. I decided to custom one. So why don't we go ahead and check out what I started with? Of course, everybody knows this iconic car from the Fast and the Furious movie. Great looking little car. I love the green. I love the paint on it. Everything. Really good casting altogether. I really didn't have to do a lot to this car. I pretty much just did a little bit of an add-on, a little bit of paint, and a wheel swap. And honestly, I love the final result. The final turnout of it turned out great. I just did the typical, drilling out the post, taking these old wheels off because I plan on using them probably for another car later on down the road. I ended up getting rid of the stock wing that came on it, though. I knew I was going to do something with the interior. You're just going to have to wait a little later on in the video to see what I do to the interior. Excuse me. But I knew I was wanting to give it a paint job, a wheel swap, strip down the base, strip down the body, the whole 9 yards. I'm filing down the tips of the post because I needed them flat for when I drilled the holes for the screws. And this is one of my quick style videos, because I'm kind of up in the air of trying to come up with things to make and build and everything else. So I thought I'd do this quick little build real quick. And you see one of the cars off to the side, one of my old NASCARs. I took the screws out of that because I was running out of screws. I got some button head screws, but I need to get an Allen key that'll work and that's going to be strong enough to use for it. So I already stripped it down, cleaned it up, polished it a little bit, polished the base up. I'm leaving the base the way it is because I really like how it polished up. I put some JB Weld on the back trunk lid to where the old scoop, or not the old scoop, the old wing used to sit. So I filled that in, took some tape. I'm taking a toothpick and marking out the lines for the hood because I wanted to do this before I started painting the car because I'm gonna end up putting like a carbon fiber decal on it. And I'm also gonna be, and this before I get to that, this is honestly the easiest way I thought of to actually do the carbon fiber without messing up no paint and stuff. So it honestly helped. So I ended up doing the trunk lid the same way because I knew that I was gonna put the carbon fiber on the trunk lid and on the hood, and and I wanted to get the shape and size of it cut out before I started doing paint. Now, see, I didn't do a lot of customization on this car because I wanted it to be simple, but I did customize the interior a little bit. So, I wanted to put this aftermarket wing I got from Benchworks Toys because I knew it would look good on there because it looks so much better than the one that came on it. That was 100% fact right there. So, all in all, the paint was quick. Paint was easy. I ended up using, I'll tell you more about that later on. But I wanted everything to be nice and smooth and nice and transition. Everything where it looked like it belonged on the car. And, I wanted to make sure that the wing it was 100% on there before I actually done anything. So I'm kind of cleaning off my fingerprints right now because I'm getting ready to put this sucker in paint. So while it's in the first stage of paint, which I ended up painting it white to kind of get that base coat going. For the interior, I decided to cut out the passenger side chair and everything. I cut out the sides to where it was open. And somehow, I don't know how, but my steering wheel came up missing. So I was like, you know what, I got a bunch of them just setting off the other castings, so I'll just take one of those. But I wanted to make sure everything was smoothed down, filed down, trimmed up. I ended up using my hobby knife because I got tired of the filing stuff, so I just started using my hobby knife to kind of trim up certain areas to get it to where it looked the way I was wanting it to. Because I ended up to kind of fill in that void right there where the other seat was at. After I got done trimming it up and getting all that excess plastic from the interior off, I ended up taking a piece of styrene, and you'll see that here in a few minutes. But I took a piece of styrene, and I kind of just did a little outline, a little piece that I was going to do, marked it with the hobby knife, and then cut it out with scissors. Did my little trimming and stuff, drilled a hole because I was going to put a roll cage in it. Test fitting everything with the windscreen on it, so I know it would fit with the windscreen on it once everything was together. So getting this base put on, I was gonna go with an aluminum color, and you'll see that here in a little bit. But I wanted to make sure I got all the bars and everything done for the roll cage. Because honestly, the way I was going with this, it had to have a roll cage on it, honestly. It didn't have one to begin with. It was a kind of a plain interior. It had the little NOS bottles on the back. But I knew I didn't want to just do a part of a roll cage. I wanted to actually do one that actually went across the back dash area of this Eclipse. And like I said, I'm not a big Eclipse guy or a big tuner car guy or JDM guy, whatever you want to call me. But every now and then I'll do a JDM or I'll do a tuner style car or whatever, just to kind of show that I do more than just classic muscle cars and hot rods and stuff like that. But I like how the roll cage came out, and it was right before I painted it. I have this, after I got done with a base coat, I ended up going with a wicked aluminum color to put over it, and I decided to tape it off. And I was gonna do like a fade for the color I was gonna use, but I ended up changing my mind after I saw it, after I pulled the tape off, after I put the first coat of paint over it, which I ended up using a candy deep purple. And oh my goodness, I really loved how everything turned out on this car. Because like I was trying to make it look like a show car, and it came out looking like a show car. I'm telling you, everything went exactly how it was supposed to. Nothing broke off during fixing of it. And I have a really bad problem with these wings kind of breaking and stuff, but I didn't have no problems. I had zero problems when it came to putting everything together for this car. Paint turned out phenomenal. I put a little bit of decals on there, kind of cover up some stuff on the carbon fiber portion, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a few minutes. But I was gonna try to do some kind of neat little design, and the idea I had in my mind really wasn't gonna work too well with how I was gonna try it. But here's what it looked like after I painted it. The candy deep purple looks good, looks fantastic. Honestly, I'm painting the headlights on it now. Kind of got a little bit of a blue tint to it because of the purple, and I'm putting white over it. But all in all, I really like how it looked. It really turned out really nice. Once I ended up getting everything said and done, had the clear coat on it, it turned out awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite cars right now because of how well it turned out. Here's the interior. I'm using a pearl purple to do the interior, a little bit of the interior, not the entire thing. I'm just painting up the seat, a little bit of the dash, the homemade little T handle for the shifter, the steering wheel I did in some purple, and a little bit of the emergency brake, because I wanted to give it that little racing style theme. And you got this steering wheel. I can't remember what casting I pulled this off of, but I really liked how this steering wheel looked on it. It looked like a racing steering wheel, so I decided to do a little purple color to it, and it matched. It worked perfectly with everything that I was trying to do. I ended up taking some black and painting the dash. I took some blue, painted up the NOS bottles in the back. Just kind of trying to give it that little bit of detail. And I really like how everything turned out, because it flowed. Everything looks good. You can see everything clearly. There's no hand smudges in the clear coat, nothing. So I'm really happy with the way this one turned out, because like I said, I don't do very many tuners or JDMs or anything like that. I don't do a lot of them. But when I try to do them, I'm trying to step up my game on my paints, and I'm trying to step up my game on my detailing and stuff like that. And I think I hit the nail on the head with this one, because of how well everything flowed, especially once I put that first coat of clear coat down. After I put the decals, because I did a clear coat. And that's kind of what's going on right now. It's probably drying, being in clear coat right now. But when I went to go put on these carbon fiber decals, I had a little bit of a problem at first. But once everything got smoothed out, because after I put the micro set on there, and you can see the hood carbon fiber is kind of sitting in a little thing of water right now. But after I put on the carbon fiber hood portion, I forgot to take in for the little hump it's got, the little bit of a scoop that it's got on the driver's side of the car. And I ended up using some micro sol later on. And honestly, I need to learn more on how to use that micro sol, because the way it looked, and honestly, it actually kind of turned out pretty neat. It kind of looks like a little bolt of lightning or something's going through the decal that I put over top of it to try to cover up the little marks. But honestly, I like how it turned out. It looks neat. But, I put the carbon fiber on the back, and after I got done with all this, I put some decals. So why don't we go ahead and check out what we started off with. It's a nice little 95 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Good little casting, great little project to work with. I had two of them, so why not customize one in the way I was wanting to do it. Wanted to go blue, but for some reason it kept telling me to go purple. So without further ado, let's check out the final results.